Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Brian. I'm back again with another video editing tutorial of video game photographs. Today we'll be going over the photos that we took during playing Rust, my friend Dale. Dale, thank you once again for joining us. It was fun. Sorry we died a ton unexpectedly, but it do be that way sometimes in Rust. But let's go on ahead and, as always, let's import these photographs. Get them right on in there. That way we can start developing these as soon as possible. So we actually have quite a few. We ended up getting a lot more than I expected. Some of these are multiple images of the same shot, but we'll be able to sort out which one is kind of the best. As always, as a good photographer does, we start off where we choose. For me, I'll start off actually at the ending like I did the other time. Now this one was pretty cool. I like that we actually added the pink layering and stuff. I think it actually adds to the effect of the mountains and everything. We got a little bit of pink layering on this one as well. But let's go right on into it and take a look at this guy. Nice basic, beautiful winter foliage. Absolutely love this. I think this is definitely the better shot right here. Let's go right on ahead, bring in that crop as we do. This is looking pretty good. I do hate that this is a mess all right here. If anything, I'll bring this stuff out and take it away right away. Boom. Done and done. That looks good. Now, right away, let's add some contrast and let's add a little bit of yellow. Get rid of some of the blue going on there. Let's take a look around, see if we can't use one of the presets in here. Yeah, let's throw on the desaturated again. Once again, I use this as like a training tool for right now. I don't really do video game photography, but I'm starting to really get it down to the point where I'm quite comfortable. Like, I feel like pretty soon I will not have to be doing that anymore. Let's go right on ahead and bring out the shadows, bring the whites down a hair, and let's just bump up the exposure a bit right now. Now we'll try using the removal tool and get rid of some of this stuff. And yeah, that's what I figured. There's going to be so much detail in some of these photographs that we can't get rid of this stuff, sadly. Yeah. Alright, so it looks like we're going to keep kind of this stuff in there. That's the issue you're going to run in with Rust. Rust, developers, whoever makes it. If you can come up with a really great camera mode, personally, I would love it. I'm sure you guys could come up with something. Add a little bit of texture and detail. Let's go on ahead and bring up the clarity just a hair. Bring down the texture just a hint. And that's looking much better as it is. Let's sharpen and clean her up as we always do with video game photographs because it just always makes it look better. Bam. Look at that. Much better photographs. Let's go right ahead and take a look at some of the astrophotography I got to do in the game. This is like shooting on a wide-angled lens or a fisheye, and I absolutely love that they added the horizon lights. We also had a light shot coming over by the helicopter. This is pretty darn funky, I would say. Let's go right ahead, and I think we'll start off with this one. I really like that the helicopter's in the shot. I think it actually adds a bit more depth to the photo. Let's go ahead and take a look at some presets we can throw in here. Ooh, the cool light one is looking pretty good. I think this time though, what we're going to do is just our own individual edit. So let's go on ahead and bring in the exposure. Bring in some good clarity this time. We're going to tone out a lot of that color and just bring on over the yellow. Let's take the highlights down and pull out the shadowing quite a bit. Let's bring in the clarity and bring down the dehaze. Let's take out a little bit of the vibrance going on there because our focus is definitely the stars in this photograph and keeping the mountains kind of subdued. Let's go on ahead and actually bring in our brush tool. We're just going to kind of brush the peaks of the mountain. You know, we're going to start accenting it just a wee bit with a bit more exposure. Just enough. No, the little light fairies are coming through again. We're going to go back through, grab our brush tool again. And we're just going to go boop, boop, boop. A few spots here in the clouds. And I'm just going to add a little bit of highlight to just make this photo have some stuff that just pops right out. Look at that. We'll add a few here and there. Beautiful. Let's bring it right down the mountain. Get some of the highlights down there like we're painting an artwork. Look at that. Bring it right on through there. Nice. That is looking beautiful. Let's bring in some of this darker area right here. That is looking nice. We're going to crest it off over there. I think that is all she wrote for the most part. Now, let's bring down the whites and bring in the blacks just a little bit. We don't want to get rid of all those highlights because the highlights there actually help create the stars look better. Well, make the stars look better. We are going to smooth it out, make it have less jagged edges to make it look more realistic. And I think right there is what we're going to call a finished photograph. Let's go on ahead and bring in that copy. Apparently I'm dying. Let's go on ahead and bring over the copy function. I want to definitely use this photograph, I think. Yeah, I love the lighting that they added there. Let's base this overlay on it. I love the purple theme we're going with, so let's kind of keep that, I think. I think this is really going to add some great detail. Nice. Just brought the whites a little bit on it. Let's see if we bring out the highlights. Yep, it's going to add a little bit more to effect. Awesome. Let's go ahead with a handy dandy brush tool again. We're going to just bump up the highlights. Boop, boop. Boop, ba doop, ba doop. Just kind of paint it through. Give it some more life. There we go. That's looking really good. I think right there is definitely kind of a finished photograph. We have a lot to get through, so let's keep on plugging away. Thanks, Dale. This is a really pretty shot, though. Right away, especially with everything in the background lit up like this. Let's go right away. Add some great contrast in there to separate everything. You're going to over depthize it. Add some great dehazing. Bring in some clarity and some texture. Let's tone down that sun a little bit. Just bring it on down. Bring the whites down. We're going to pull out the shadows on the lands out there. I think there's multiple ways we could do it. We could do it like this, where it creates a full sunset effect. Something kind of like that. But I think in this case, let's go over here to one of the presets. There we go. Get some good clarity in there. Yeah. And the few times I'm going to bump it up all the way. Ooh. Look at that, guys. Let's take a little bit of the color out now. I think we're going to leave it just like that. Wow. Maybe just a little bit more saturation. That is looking absolutely beautiful, though. I am in love with that photograph. Let's take a look at some of the other ones we ended up getting. Yep, I actually kind of forgot I took some of these. Ooh, that is very exposed. Got the helicopter in the background. Ooh. Let's bring down the exposure, bring in the contrast, bring down the highlights, bring down the white. Let's pull out the shadows, bring in the clarity, dehaze the crap out of it. Bring the vibrance down, bring out the saturation just a wee bit. Let's get some nice textures and stuff in there to really make it look realistic. Add a little bit of black just to get more of that detail. This is creating a really funky photograph, so let's take out some of the texture. Let's tone this down a wee bit on the contrast. Actually, I kind of like this as a good preset. Let's play around from here. Look at that. That is a really cool photo. I wish the sun definitely wasn't that overexposed in Rust, but I get it. It happens. These are some other ones we're just kind of playing around with. Nothing too exciting, sadly. But definitely something that does exist, of course. Did I get a good shot of that? No, I didn't. I did miss that, sadly. We were trying to get a cool shot of that house. There was somebody who was just on the server that had that there. That is a cool shot with the helicopter. Let's go right ahead and bring in the dehaze. Let's go ahead and bring in the clarity. Bring in a little bit of contrast. Bring down the highlights. Bring in the whites. Bring out the shadows. We know the drill. We're actually going to bring that down slightly. Bring this guy in to make it a bit more depth. There we go. Look at that. Look at that. Let's bring the whites down quite a bit. They're starting to be a bit blown out. That is pretty cool. Let's run a small crop on it. Oof. We're going to just leave a crop, I think, right about there. These details here are going to take a while to try to take out, so I think we're just going to leave it at that. Let's go around ahead and bring into the first photograph we took. Let's see. These are pretty cool. Let's start off with this guy right here. Let's go right ahead and add that cool light one right away, because it's going to give us the best detail we can get with the coloring. Next, we're going to add that clarity and texture. Bring in a little bit of black this time. Bring down the whites and highlights. Get that beautiful blue that's coming in. Let's bring in some good contrast to separate everything. Let's go right ahead, sharpen up these images, add a little noise reduction, give it some color. And look at that. Let's bring down the exposure just a hair. And I think that's what we call a photograph, my friends. These are absolutely fun and beautiful to work with. Seriously, if you get a chance, give this a try. Full on, edit it like a regular photograph, and just treat this as if it was real photography. And like, I think people will have the time of their life. Let's use this as another overlay right away. I thought I saw a better one for a second. I think we're going to just kind of keep it like that, nice and low key. Boop. Look at that. Nice. We got one more photograph over here going on. Let's bring on in the contrast, bring down the highlights, bring out the shadows, bring down the white, bring in the black, bronze up that clarity. Let's go ahead, do one more preset on this, and we shall call her probably done. Boom! Look at that. Let's bring in the contrast and everything again. Pull out the shadows. Let's bump up the exposure just a hair. Really keep that kind of good look to it. Let's adjust the angle and crop. Let's readjust one more time. Bam! That is looking Gucci. Bam, look at that. Let's sharpen everything up, make it look nice and clean. And I think that is what we call a photograph, my friends. Once again, everyone, I hope you enjoyed this video today. If you like this video, go ahead and hit the like button. If you don't like the video, that happens. If you want to see more content like this or more ideas like this overall, let me know. And as always, as we end these videos, take a look at the photographs at the end. They'll be exported and uploaded right to here for you.
you.